Here we are, Follows and Bates, hand mower. It's regrind day today. I said last week it would either be a bit of welding on the roller, which I hadn't done. So we're going to have a go at regrinding today. So we've got the cutting cylinder and the bottom blade to do. So I'm going to get the camera lady to zoom in and then we can see what's going on. So we've got the cutting cylinder here. I can't remember whether I painted it, but anyway, it's been sandblasted and red oxide, so it's ready to put on the grinder. So we've got that, and we've got, as I said, I've managed to drill a bottom blade, which is very similar, and I filled the holes and screwed it in with new screws. So we do need to it shouldn't take too long, but we do need to sharpen that as well. So we're going to do that. So what we need to do is I think we're going to do the cutting cylinder first. The only thing to remember with the cutting cylinder, when you've got a cutting cylinder like this, one shaft is longer than the other, it will only go in the mower one way. Well, you can put it the other way, but it's not right. So what we need to do, it's an easy mistake to do, we need to just make sure that I put this in the grinder the right way. Otherwise, I'm going to grind it backwards, if you want to call it that. So, yes, the way to look at it is, I think, just to make sure you've got it right. We've got the two side cases there, so that's the gear side. So we can see the cutting cylinder gear goes on there, the intermediate one goes on there, and the big one on the roller. So that's the way that we've got to put it into the grinder. If it's some of the greens, the silence messers, the shaft on those are equal lengths. So you can grind that either way, the cylinder. It doesn't matter on those, but this one it does. So I need to make sure I get it the right way round. So that's the way it's got to go into the grinder. So we're going to get the camera lady to come into the grinding bay, and that's it. So we've got, as I said last time, we've done a video on this. We've got the Atherton and Ellis. This is the Express Dual. The company now is Bernard and Company, but this is the cylinder grinder, and you can do two ways. You can do, as we're going to do today, we're going to just grind the cutting cylinder on its own. In other words, out of the machine. If the cutting cylinder bearings, and it's possible, you can in situ grind, which is nice because it means you don't need to take the cutting cylinder out, and it saves a bit of time. So you can do either with that. So, but as I say, today we are going to do it with the cylinder out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly take the safety guard off it, and then we're going to, you can see how it all works, and then we're going to set it up, and then we're going to have a grind. So there we have it, rotating stone. We've got the drive for the cylinder, and we've got the traverse. So the stone, once the cylinder's in there, by turning the two wheels, you can higher or lower the stone into the cylinder. You've got to do that manually. But once you've got the rest of it set, you've got a traverse, and you can set the traverse, and then just let the thing grind, and then come back to it. So what we're doing today, because the shaft is a little worn on this cylinder, I've got these, as with the silence messer, we've got these adjustable bearing housings. Normally with a lot of cylinders you'd use a proper ball bearing, and I've got the adapters, but as I say, being the fact this shaft is a little worn either side, we would have a job to get some proper bearings on a nice snug fit. So anyway, so we're going to put that in. We're just going to put a washer either side. That's the way it's got to go in the grinder, like this. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on the shaft. That's it. So pop him in there, and then we locate the drive, because the drive's got to drive the cylinder. Push that up. That's it. So we're going to just tighten that down. Make sure it turns, which it does. It's good. Put that over there. Right, and at this point, I just need to set the cutting cylinder so it's just touching the blade. So I'm going to come over here and do that one. It's just touching, not too hard. That's it. A little bit more there. So we've got our stops. We're just going to put the stops there. We just set it so it just nearly finishes the end of the cutting cylinder. So I think we'll just a little bit more there. There we are. So it's just about touching the bottom blade, and then we, as we get going, we'll wind it in a bit more. So I'm going to get the camera leg to stand back a little bit. Normally we'd be running this with the safety guard on there, but so you can see it, and we're going to be careful, we hope. We're going to set it going like that. So let's turn it on. So, firstly, we get the stone working. There we are. We do the cutting cylinder. And I'm just going to just keep setting the... very slowly winding the stone up into the cylinder. I'm going to back that off a little bit that side, nice and even. Button there, and we'll just turn it off for the moment, and you can see that it's just starting to sharpen it up nicely. So probably another quarter of an hour, 20 minutes, and we're looking for a nice even grind all the way along, and then when it's nice and sharp there'll be a slight burr on that, and every single blade should be like that. So there we have it. So that's the cylinder grinder. We'll do a bit more on that one off camera. And now we're going to go on. I'm just going to take this safety guard out of the way so we don't fall over it. There we go. So the camera lady's going to come and have a look here at the bottom blade grinder. So this is, again, it's the same company, Atherton & Ellis, or Bernard and Company. This is the Angle Master 2000. So this does bottom blades, and you can also do chipper blades on it. So we're going to, the new bottom blade, we're going to do both angles on this. I'm hoping it doesn't need much. So what we're looking for, let me see if I find that blade, so it's a bit tricky. So there's two angles it's probably not quite very obvious, but you've got obviously the top one, which is that one, and then you've got that angle there as well. So you've got sort of that angle, and then you've got the cutting angle. It's like that. It's going to be about 5 degrees on both of them, and you can see on the grinder we've got a dial, a rather dirty dial over there, but you can just about see the degrees. So we can set that both angles. You do one at a time, and we can get hopefully 5 degrees, or whichever the manufacturer recommends. You can set your angles. So we're going to go with 5 degrees anyway on both. So let's get this. Now, as this is a very, very small bottom blade, you can see this has got a magnetic base, but you can see it's not possible to get them any closer. So I've got these longer screws so I can hold it firmly on the bed. So let's just put those on. This is all adjustable, so no matter what make and what model of mower you've got, you should be able to accommodate it. Put that in there, but you do need to make sure it's held securely. Let's just make sure we've got that pretty even. So we're just going to put that up and just, okay, we want to get that as even as possible because we don't really want to take unnecessary pressure off it. So I'm going to slide over a bit and then just set this angle, which we're looking for. We're going to do that one first. So let's have a look at the dial. So that looks, yeah, I think we're on about 5 there. So again, like the cylinder grinder, the stone is here. The stone obviously rotates, but it's not actually the stone that moves, it's this bed. And you can see you've got, so what we're going to do, we're going to slide it across and we're going to just set it so it's just touching that bottom blade. I'm going to move the camera lady over a little bit and just get it even, hopefully. Just touching. So we're going to start that up, so here we go. So we can feel there's a slight burr on that, and it's nicely sharpened all the way along. So I'm going to come around the back of the camera lady and we're going to do the next angle. So let's set that over. So again, we're looking for about 5 degrees. So I think we're going to be about there. That's it, around there. That's good. So let's just again bring the stone in. A little bit hard there. I'm going to come around the other side and do that one there. This has got a traverse on it, so if you were sharpening a worn bottom blade, you'd probably need to set a traverse, then you can walk away and get on with something else. So here we go, so we're going to fire it up again. There's still a way to go, so rather than boring you too much, I'm probably going to finish that off camera. So anyway, you can see the good end, and just about somewhere in the middle it needs a bit longer, so a bit longer, and I think that's probably got that one. I think probably what's happened is where I filled the original holes with weld, it's probably distorted it very slightly, but I think that's going to come out with a little bit longer on the grinder. So there you have it, bottom blade. So I think we're just going to do a little bit, we'll come back out here and we'll just do a little bit on further progress. Good, okay, so what we've got, I've done a bit of cleaning up, as you can see. I've got some more to do on that one. The gear cover's been done. So that's going to be red oxide. And the handlebars, those have been cleaned and red oxide. So the next will be the top coat. And I've got some green for that. And hiding under the plastic there is the roller, and I've got it hidden just because I don't really want it to go too rusty. I had it sandblasted and it will go rusty very quickly. But anyway, so that is going to be a job for another day. I think that's probably it for the grinding. I hope you enjoyed the video. Next week, probably might be on the welding of the roller. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video.